His ex-fiancée mailed his engagement ring back with a bill for the dates he could not afford. The small, cushioned box did not rattle. Alex knew what it was before he opened it. The weight was not in the ring, but in the finality it represented. He lifted the platinum band, the diamond catching the dim light of his studio apartment. Beneath it lay a single folded piece of paper. It was not a letter. It was an invoice, meticulously itemized in a cold, corporate font. Dinner at Aperture, $482.50. Weekend in Napa, your half, $1,120. 00. Hamilton tickets, $788. 00. The list went on, a clinical autopsy of their 2-year relationship. Total due, $8,340. 50. The antagonist was not just Chloe, his ex, it was the number. A number that declared him a fraud. A man who had pretended to be more than he was. His tech startup had collapsed 6 months ago, taking his savings, his confidence, and his future with it. This invoice was just the tombstone. He sank onto his worn-out couch, the paper trembling in his hand. The choice was clear and agonizing: ignore it and let her have the last word, confirming his worthlessness in his own mind, or engage in this insane game. He chose the latter. He wrote a check for $50, all he could spare after rent, and mailed it to her, a pathetic first installment on a debt of humiliation. He thought it would make him feel better. It did not. 2 days later, his phone buzzed with a notification. A friend had tagged him in an Instagram story. It was a picture of his check, held in Chloe's perfectly manicured fingers. The caption read, "Reparations have begun. A reminder to all my girls, know your value." #wasted time. The public humiliation was a lit match on his last nerve. Alex doubled down. The debt was no longer about money, it was a crusade to erase the shame. He started driving for a ride-share service after his day job coding for a soulless insurance company. The nights bled into mornings. His world became a blur of blurry streetlights, the smell of stale coffee, and the hollow chime of a new ride request. He sold his vintage guitar. He canceled his gym membership. Every dollar that was not for ramen or rent went into an envelope addressed to Chloe. $150 one month. $220 the next. Each payment was a small piece of his life force, mailed away. He was a ghost haunting his own body, fueled by shame. The downward spiral tightened. His car, essential for his night job, broke down. The repair cost wiped out a month's worth of payments. He missed the self-imposed deadline. A text message from Chloe lit up his phone at 3 a.m. "Running a little behind, are not we?" It was a digital sneer. He felt a suffocating pressure in his chest, the weight of a failure he could not escape. He was living only to satisfy the judgment of a person who no longer wanted him. Then, the letter arrived. It looked official, with a logo for a prestige asset recovery firm. The language was cold and threatening, mentioning potential legal action and damage to his credit score. Chloe had sold his humiliation to a collection agency. The game had changed. This was not a personal vendetta anymore, it was a professional hunt. Alex felt the floor drop out from under him. He was completely and utterly trapped. He sat in the dark for hours, the collection notice on the table like a death warrant. There was nothing left to sell, no more hours in the day to work. He was done. Defeated. Ready to call a bankruptcy lawyer and let the system swallow him whole. His landlord called, reminding him he had to clear out his old storage unit by the end of the week. Buried under boxes of his failed startup's merchandise, he found an old laptop. Chloe's old laptop. She had left it behind, claiming it was too slow. On a whim, he plugged it in. It flickered to life. Her files were a digital monument to her materialism, but one folder caught his eye: finances. Inside were spreadsheets, credit card statements, and chat logs with her friends. The truth hit him like a physical blow. The lavish lifestyle, the expensive dinners, the trips, they were all financed by her debt. She was drowning in credit card bills and personal loans, using his then promising startup as a shield to project an image of effortless wealth. The invoice she sent him was not a list of what he owed her, it was a near-perfect copy of her credit card statement from the month before he went broke. He felt a surge of righteous fury. He had found it. The weapon to end this. He took a screenshot of her debt spreadsheet and her chat logs where she bragged about getting Alex to pay for everything, and emailed it to her with a single sentence: "The game is over." For a moment, he felt the intoxicating thrill of victory. Her reply came in less than 5 minutes. It was not an apology. It was a checkmate. "Show that to anyone, Alex. Please. You re the failed entrepreneur who could not even afford to take his girlfriend to dinner. I'm the victim who just wanted what I was promised. Who do you think they believe?" And in that moment, he knew she was right. She had perfectly weaponized his own public failure against him. His truth was worthless. He was lower than rock bottom. He stared at the collection agency letter again, his last thread of hope gone. He was about to tear it up when his eye caught a detail in the logo. The eagle's head was facing the wrong way. A quick search of Prestige Asset Recovery yielded nothing. No website. No business registration. The address was a mailbox rental store. It was fake. She had faked the whole thing to push him over the edge. And in that moment, everything shifted. A profound, chilling clarity washed over him. He had been playing her game, by her rules, on her field. The objective of her game was not to get the money, it was to keep him paying, to keep him trapped in a prison of shame she controlled. The only way to win was to stop playing. He walked over to his desk, took the invoice she had sent him, and placed it in a simple black frame. Then, he took the engagement ring, and with a pair of pliers, he carefully, deliberately, worked the diamond loose from its platinum setting. He placed the small, brilliant stone in a tiny velvet pouch. He put the pouch in a small box, along with a single, printed note. The next day, Chloe received the package. Inside, there was no check. Just the loose diamond and the note. It read, "Paid in full for the education." She was left with a devalued stone and a message that screamed her power over him was gone. Alex went back to his apartment and hung the framed invoice on the wall next to his desk. It was not a monument to his debt. It was his declaration of independence. His proof that the most expensive bills have nothing to do with money, and the only way to pay them is to realize you owe nothing at all.